Hey guys, am I audible? Hey guys, am I audible? Yeah, I'm audible, I guess. Let's start. I'm audible, guys, right? I'm audible, guys, right? Cool. Let's start it, guys, okay? So, first of all, people here give a shout out, please. Like, Kapil is here, Tanu is here, Sameer, Travel with Vansh. Many people are here. That's good. That's good. I was expecting more, but I don't know, man. I don't care. Let's start. I'm just making one package of out of a project, okay, and we will start it. So I'm making project as Java Primer session 1. I can share the codes with you afterwards. I will be sharing the screen, guys. Okay, just let me know that my screen is getting shared. Okay, let me tell you what we will be gonna learning today. Okay, so you seen that slide that I sent on the group, right? We'll be learning that actually. I have posted one slide on the group, guys. If you remember, so there was one slide called Java Primer, right? So we'll be learning mostly that in today's session. Let me open that also for you so that I can show you. I'm sharing the screen as well. Wait a second, bro. Wait a second. What's the hurry? These are the today's topics, guys, which we will be going through. So, as I told you guys that you know that if you don't know Java, then also what we will do is that we will have some two primer sessions over Java before starting with the actual machine coding problems. Right. So this is the first Java primer session, and you will be seeing that we'll be taking around like project structure for machine coding projects, like basically what should be the ideal project structure that interviewers actually expect from you. We will also do some object oriented programming refresher as well. So what are classes, interfaces, abstract classes, and all that stuff. Encapsulation and polymorphism, basically interface driven design, what it is, some inheritance as well. Some collections we will be seeing like list, set, and maps, enums and constants, and exception handling. So these are the basics of Java that we will be covering in this session. Because I'm taking these two sessions on Java Primer because I will teach you that much Java that is expected from you. If you like code it in Java, or let's say if you are coding yourself in some other language, so at least you can understand what I'm teaching to you. Okay, makes sense. So guys, can we start it now? I think we should start, right? We should just dive deep into the session now. What do you say? Okay, let's start it. So this is today's agenda, and 5 minutes have already been gone in the live, right? So let's start. I don't want to take or waste that much of time in just the introductions and all that stuff, right? So one thing that I expect from you guys is that you be interactive in the session. So I will be asking certain questions, and if you have the answers, do give the answers about that also, right? So that's gonna help more to me. And how many of you actually read some Java basics? This is some homework kind of thing that I gave it to you, if you remember. So anybody here actually went through the Java basics themselves, or it's a no? What's the answer? I don't think so that you guys would have went through it. But if you have, then that is, uh, of course, good. So be active in the chats here. Okay. Okay. So now I will be sharing my ID screen with you. And so guys, can you see my ID screen? It's good if you have went through it. It's really good. You will be able to pick it up in a good manner if you have even done the basics or you have certain revision of the notes as well. Right. So I think now the ID should be visible. Okay. So guys, first thing is, why this session actually? That is, I want to tell to you like why we are taking this session. Guys, in machine coding interviews, interviewers actually want a clean structure, okay, a readable code, and an extensible design. Okay. Now, what do I mean by clean structure? You can think of your code as a mini startup product. So just think of your code as a mini startup product. If your design is messy, no one can actually maintain it. Your design is not maintainable, your code is not maintainable. So one thing what you can do is that you can just write a code in a single file. That's it. But that is something that is not recommended, and that is something that an interviewer never expects from you. So what an interviewer actually expects from you is a clean structure, a readable code, and an extensible and maintainable design. Okay, that is why we are taking this session here, right? The first thing that we'll be talking about here is the project structure. That is the first thing we'll be talking about, right? Now, if you see this ID of mine, you will see that there is one project named Java Primer Session 1. Okay, so this is the project name that I have kept here, right? Inside the project, there is nothing as of now. There is just one folder, empty folder called SRC. SRC is your source folder that contains the source code. As of now, there is nothing there, nothing. Okay, now let's take a very small example. Okay, let's take a very small example of some, like food delivery app. Okay, or you can say that food ordering app. Let's take a very small example of a food ordering app. Now, guys, in a food ordering app, what are the things that are there? So if you are developing a food ordering app, try to map this food ordering app with the real world food ordering. So there will be a customer that will be ordering the food. So what is the first thing here? There will be a customer. What will be the second thing here? Order. Order will also be there. And from where you will be ordering? From a restaurant. Yes or no, guys? There will be a customer in a real world that will be ordering the food. There he or she will be placing something that is called order. So second keyword here is order. And from where we will be ordering? From a restaurant. Right? We are just talking about the food ordering system, a basic food ordering system here. So in Java, everything is structured in something that we call packages. Packages is actually a folder. You can think of it as a folder where your code files are residing. So what do I mean by clean design here is that your packages should be structured as such that they are adhering to the single responsibility principle. Now, what do I mean by single responsibility principle, guys? Okay, so whenever we build a project or an application, we have some English keywords here. One is nouns. Nouns. What do I mean by nouns, guys? So, noun means we represent real world objects. What are the real world objects in a food ordering app? What are the nouns in a food ordering app? According to you, real world objects: a customer, order, and a restaurant. Right? These are the nouns. These are the objects in a real world. Yes or no? Just yes or no. When we talk about a food ordering app, then what are the nouns or what are the real world entities or objects here? Customer, order, restaurant. We can extend it to other things also, but let's take these three as an example as of now. Right. So, guys, when we talk about real world objects or nouns in programming language, we called it model or entities. What we call them? We call them models or entities. So, we will make a separate package for models in our project. So, all our nouns, all our real world projects, all our real world entities will be actually residing in these model packages, models package. That's why I said to you that in Java, your code base is structured in packages and each package has some functionality. So your model package hold the real world objects or the nouns. Okay. Is this thing clear to everyone? Any doubts here? Any doubts here in this thing? What is a models package here? So guys, I am actually teaching you how the project structure should be in machine coding interviews. This is clear, right? Now guys, there is second thing that is called verbs. Verbs. What do I mean by verbs? What is a verb? What do you do in a food ordering app? You place a order, you do a payment. So these are the verbs, right? You are doing some work. What work you are doing? What action you are performing? Verb is actually your action. Verb kya hai? Verb is an action, right? So what action you are performing? You are ordering the food. You are doing the payment, right? So there is a separate package for action, what we call services. There is a separate package for actions or verbs, what we call services. So all your business logic, let's say I want to write a logic for ordering the food. So logic for ordering the food will be in the services. Let's say I want to write a logic for payment. So all the logic for payment will be in the services. So basically services holds the code for the action. What is the action here? Doing the payment, ordering the food. Ordering the food, doing the payment. These are the actions. These are the business logic. So all your business logic will actually reside in services package. Clear? Any doubts here? Bro, just listen what I'm discussing. We are discussing what should be the project structure while you are having a machine coding interview. What does interviewer expect from you? Guys, is this clear? What are models? What are services? So models is your noun, services is your action. Model is your real world object or entities, service is your business logic. Right. Now this is clear. Now guys, another thing in your application is you have to store the data somewhere. Yes or no? You have to manage the data. You have to manage the data. You have to store the data somewhere. Right. Basically, you should store the data somewhere. You should manage the data somewhere. Yes or no? Right. So to manage your data, you have a separate package and we call this repositories. We call this repositories. Okay, you have a separate package for that, and we call that repositories. Okay, so model is your noun, service is your verb or action, repository is to manage your data. Make sense? So what repository will be doing is it will be interacting with your database. Okay, as of now, is it clear? Any doubts in this? It is clear, right? Model, repository, and services. Right. And then you have the starting point. Okay. Bro, it is visible to each and everyone. How I can open it in a new window? I can expand it for you like this, or I can also do this. I cannot open it in a new window, right? This is a window only. Right. Now, guys, every application has a starting point. Bro, I will not open it in a separate window. Is it clear? Because I have to write a code. I cannot juggle between these things. So, guys, is anybody else has a visibility problem here for this? Anybody having any visibility problems for this? Guys, please watch it on your laptops at least. I can even watch it on my phone and it is very much visible to me. Let me check once. Yogita, repository is used to manage data. Okay. Guys, I will also share you the, like I will also tell you the flow. So as of now, just listen what I'm teaching. Okay. Don't worry about that. You will get the story. So I'm building up the story as of now. You will get it for sure. Okay. Is it clear? So don't panic about the things. Just focus on the learning as of now. You will get it. Okay. Yeah, use the highest resolution possible on your devices as told by account creator. Yeah. So guys, your application has an entry point. Okay. And what is the entry point of your application? The entry point of your application is main. So in C++, in Java, in C, what is one method that is your entry point of your code? Main method, yes or no? Main method is the entry point of your code, right? In C++, C or Java. Where do you enter the code? Like what is the starting point of the code? Main is the starting point of your code, right? So what I will do is, as of now, I'm just creating a main class. Now, don't worry what is the class. Don't worry what is the class. I will be telling it as of now, but you just have to understand that there is something called entry point to your application that is your main method or a function. As of now, this is just a function. Don't focus upon what is class, just focus upon this function called main function. You might have seen in C, you might have seen in C++, you might have seen in Java as well, right? And in Python, I think it is init or something. Python people here, it is init or something in Python, right? If I'm not wrong, right? So now guys, wait a second. I will just try to connect my OneNote with you, and we will just dive deep into how these things work together. Okay, how these things work together. Okay, wait a second please. So let me bring my tablet, like the writing pad. If you have any questions as of now, guys, you just put it in the chat for this much session. Let me bring a tablet and let's design the flow now. Hey guys, I'm back. Let's. Kapil, if you have joined the session now, I cannot explain you again and again, bro. That is not a possibility. Model is your noun. Model is your noun. Now I will be explaining it. Don't worry. But please join the sessions, right? Guys, don't use any buzzwords. Sami, don't use Pojo or something as of now. Let's calm down a bit, right? So I'm opening my OneNote. Basically, we will take an example now and we will see how these things actually work in structure, right? So as of now, guys, I just told you something that is called a structure of a project, how a structure of a project will look. That's it. Don't worry about it as of now. Just let's architect it, right? So I will be sharing my screen. Let me know if you are able to see my OneNote. Okay. It's okay, bro. We will be seeing it now. Okay. Is my screen visible, guys, to everyone? OneNote screen is visible, right? Now, we have seen some words as of now. What are those words? So we talked about English. So English and the code we will be mapping, right? So one thing that we have is your models, as I talked about, right? So model is your noun or your real world entity, as I told, right? Now, what is the second thing that I told you? Second thing that I told you was your actions, right? I also told you something called verb, right? Or services. Service. Service is your verb, or I can say it is your action, or I can say it is your business logic. Your logic, right? What is the third thing that I said you? It is your repository. It actually manages data. And then there is your database. Okay. So these are four things in your application. It makes sense. What do you say? It makes sense, right? Now, let's take an example. So, we have a food delivery app, a simple food ordering app, not delivery. We are just taking a simple food ordering app into the picture. Now, what can be the nouns here? So, we will be defining some 2, 3 nouns just for your understanding. One will be your customer, one will be your order, and one will be your restaurant. Okay, customer, order, and restaurant. So these will be actually your models or your real world entities. That is one thing. Now, guys, what the customer will do? Customer will place the order, customer will do the payment. So, what are the actions here? Actions here is order placing and payment. These are your actions. So this will actually reside in service package. Right. Now, guys, every data about customer, order, restaurant, about these nouns actually, where it will reside. The data about these nouns will reside in a database. Okay. Now to manage that database, what do I mean by manage the database? Creating a customer inside a database, deleting a customer inside a database, creating an order inside the database, deleting an order inside the database, creating a restaurant inside the database, managing the data. For managing the data, we have a repository. Managing data, we have a repository. Right. And top of everything, we have a starting point that is called main. And sometimes we also called it controller. Main or controller. This is your starting point. Any doubts here, guys? Any doubts here as of now? So how the things will work here? Let's see. Let's say that I'm talking about one flow, that is create a customer. So I'm talking about one thing here. And what is that one thing? The one thing here is create customer. I want to create a customer basically. So guys, how I will create a customer? What will be the application flow here? That is the question. So let's say I want to create a customer. So what will happen is first it will start from my main function. Now what I am creating a customer. Customer is my model. Right? Customer is my model. All the creation logic. So what is the action here? Action here is creating the customer. Action here is creating the customer. So guys, creating a customer logic should reside in which package? Creating a customer logic should reside in which package? Creating a customer is an action, right? In which package my actions reside? Service package, right? So there will be a customer service, right? Now after creating the customer, we have to put that inside our database. So what thing will actually do this? Customer repository. So what happens is from here you started to create the customer, right? Here you have written logic to create the customer, right? Here you are actually managing, and here you are storing. So this is how the things work here. Any doubts here in the flow? Anybody having any queries, any doubts, or if it is clear, you can just say that it is clear. Right? Guys, एकदम झकास तरीके से clear है क्या? I want the word awesome clear and झकास clear in the chat. If it is like अच्छे से clear एकदम बढ़िया. So your customer is the model here, Linus, right? So here is your model customer, right? Customer is your model. Guys, झकास तरीके से clear है? मैं बढ़िया नवजोत, right? So this is your basic project structure that I'm talking about here. So we have models as nouns, services as actions, and what we have here is repository to manage the data. And what is the data? Model is your data basically, and we are putting that data in the database. That's it, right? And main is the starting point. So this is the project structure that we will be following for each and every machine coding round problem. Okay, that is one thing. I hope that this is clear. Right. Now guys, let's talk something that we called class. Guys, what is a class? What is a class? A class is a blueprint. So let's say you see a society, right? A housing society. So in a housing society, what you see in a housing society, you see that all the houses, all the houses are exact replica of each other. Yes or no, guys? When a contractor or a builder makes a society, all the houses are the same replica of each other, right? So how it is done? It is done. So first, what they do is they actually create a blueprint of the society. They actually create a blueprint of the society. So they create a blueprint over a paper. On that paper, they decide, okay, this will be the dimensions of the house. This is how the houses will look, right? So this is a design, or you can say a paper or a blueprint. And then they convert this blueprint into the real world society, right? Similar is the thing with the car also, right? So here what happens is that you have a car blueprint. So what does a car have? So if I have to make a blueprint of a car on a paper, what I will say, okay, a car should have a company, a car should have a model, a car should have a fuel type, let's say, right? A car should have a registration number. So I will make a blueprint like what things a car should have. And what I will do, I will make a real world car or a real world object out of this blueprint. So this blueprint is called class, where we define how our real world thing will look like. And from that class, we make an object. Is this thing clear to everyone? Is this thing clear to everyone? Right. Now, let's code the class. Let's code a sample class. So let's talk about something we called our in our food delivery app only, right? So here we have a customer. Let's see how a customer should look like. What should be the blueprint of a customer, right? Basically. So I will create a class called customer and I will define a blueprint of that customer. What will be the blueprint? A customer should have a name. Now, don't pay attention to this private as of now. I will explain this as well, right? But a customer should have a name. That is the first thing. A customer should have a address as well. So here what I'm doing is a name should be of type string, a address should be of type string. That is what I am actually quoting here, right? Name should be of type string, address should be of type string. That is what I am quoting here. That's it, right? So I'm just creating a blueprint how my customer object should look like. That's it, right? And guys, every customer has a unique ID as well. Every customer has a unique ID as well, right? So basically, name can be duplicate, right? That there can be two people named as Kartik, right? Address can or cannot be different, but this ID should be unique. So in our system, while we store a customer, let's say there are two Kartik, Kartik Sapra, and let's say there is Kartik Singh, right? So both of them have a same name, Kartik, but there should be something unique to identify them, and that we call ID. So this is the blueprint of a customer, that a customer will have a unique ID in our system, a customer has a name, a customer has an address, and blueprint we call class. Whenever we are creating a blueprint, we call them class. Right? Does it make sense to everyone? Any doubts here? We can add as many as field we want, Mansi, but I'm just giving an example here. Right, guys? So a class is a blueprint. Now, guys, from a blueprint, we create object. We create a real world entity. Like I gave you the example of the society. So a society blueprint is here. And then what you do is you transform that blueprint into a real world object. Right? You see a real world society. Right? Similarly, what we have here is a customer blueprint. We want to create a customer named Kartik Sapra using this blueprint. So we want to create an object named Kartik Sapra using this blueprint. Okay. So one of the way here is what I can do is customer C1 is equal to new customer. Okay. So what it does is that it will create a customer for me. It will create a customer object for me. But if you see as of now, I want to create a customer named Kartik. I want to create a customer named Kartik. But we haven't given any name here. We haven't given any name here. So if you want to give the value to your field, so these are your field, right? These are your field. These are your fields, right? If you want to give a value to your fields, you have something called a constructor. Every language has a constructor, right? Every language has a constructor. So it will take some parameters, ID, it will take a parameter name, it will take a parameter address, right? And what it will do is it will actually assign those values. It will actually assign those values, right? So let's say in my main, what I will say is, as of now, I am giving the ID, but we don't give the ID. While we create the objects, IDs we don't give. Okay. So as of now, I'm giving it, let's say ID is 123, right? Name is Kartik Sapra, and address is, let's say, house number 12 or something, right? So if you see here, what I have did, so I have created a customer with the ID 123 named as Kartik Sapra, and I've given the house number as well, right? So I had a blueprint and I created a real world object using that blueprint. Am I making myself clear here? Any doubts here in your mind? So basically how the flow works here. So if I have to keep a breaking point here, let's say, what I'm doing is I will show you the flow, how the things are working behind the scenes. We have the debugger, right? Wait a second, guys. I want to show you the debugger perspective once. I don't know why this is not working. Wait a second. Yeah. So now just guys see the flow of the code, how the flow of code is working, right? So if you see, I am on this line. Now let's see how does it works. So what I will do is I will go inside it. See, what is the first thing we jump to? we jump to constructor. We jump to constructor. And this is what a word also means, right? Constructor, to construct something. And we have passed the values as well. So we have passed the values called ID as 123. We have passed the name as Kartik Sapra. We have passed the address as house number 12. Right. And what is this, guys? This means the object that I am creating. Again, this is a keyword that means the current object. Okay. And these are the values that I am passing in the constructor. So what happened is, when I'm trying to create the object out of the blueprint, it is first calling the constructor. Inside the constructor, it is passing these values as ID, name, and address. And this is the current object I am trying to make. If you see, as of now, my address is null, my ID is null, my name is also null. Right. Now, if I do this thing, see, now it will set the ID of the object. Now it will set the name of the object. Now it will set the address of the object. Right. So now it created the object inside the memory called Kartik Sapra with the ID 123, and it gave a house number as well. Right. So this is how an object is made out of the blueprint. Does this make sense to everyone? Or any doubts here? Right. Guys, I'm teaching the basics because many of you might not know it. Right. That's why I'm going in a slower manner as well. This is clear, right? So we have something called class here that we have learned about. Right. Now, guys, what is the next thing? What is the next thing that I want to teach you? So there is something that we called a interface. Now, guys, what is a interface? There is another word that we call interface. What is an interface? Can anybody tell me what is an interface? So basically, guys, interface is a contract. Interface is nothing but a contract. Okay, interface is nothing but a contract. Let's take a very simple example. Guys, what are the modes of payment? Different modes of payment that you use in your real life. What are the different modes of payment that you use in real life? So you can do a payment via credit card. You can do a payment via UPI. You can do a payment via, like, let's say, debit card. These are different modes of payment. But guys, what is one function that you are doing with all these three? That is make payment. What is one common function that you are doing with these three? Make payment. Yes or no? You are using different modes, but you are doing a similar work. That is to make payment. So the mechanism is different. With credit card, you are using a credit card to make a payment. With UPI, you are using UPI to make a payment. With debit card, you are using debit card to make a payment. So if you see, basically action is same. Mechanism is different. Right? Action is same, mechanism is different. So whenever you have this kind of a problem, you use interfaces. You use interfaces. So interfaces is just your contract. How I will do it, let me just show you with an example. You will be able to understand it really well with the example. If I just show you the direct example, you will be able to get it very well, right guys? Because see to it, because we will be using these things at all, a lot, right? Everything. So what I will do is, there is a keyword in Java that we call interface, right? So I will make an interface called payment, right? And guys, what is one thing that I want to do? I want to do is make payment. Make payment. Now you see one thing very clearly. What I did here is I just declared I just declared that my payment interface is saying that I want to make a payment, right? The action. I just declared the action. That's it. I haven't given the body. I have not defined it. Not defined how. So what I'm declaring here is what to do, but not how to do. So what I'm doing here is what to do, but not how to do, right? So now guys, next step is to define how. To define how. So what I will do here is I will make a different class called credit card payment. Credit card payment. And what I will say is I will say use the interface. Use the interface. Use the contract. Use the interface. Use the contract. Just see it now. So if you see here guys, I made a class that implements again. What is the keyword here? Keyword here is implements, right? If you see the payment, it doesn't have any implementation. It just show you what to do, but not how to do. Now, credit card payment is saying how to do. How to do? Via credit card. How to do? Via credit card. So what I'm doing, I am implementing my payment. I am implementing my payment. So let's say here I'm saying make payment via credit card. So guys, now look at it very, very carefully. What you did was you made a contract. You made a contract, a payment. What is a contract? You declare the action, but you don't define how to do it. You declare what to do, but not how to do. What you want to do? You want to make a payment. Now you want to define how. So you said, I want to make the payment via credit card. So what you did? You implemented this payment. You implemented this interface and you give the body to this make payment method. If you see, this and this are the exact same names. Guys, any questions here? Any questions here? और ये झकास clear है? Guys, is it like awesomely clear to everyone? लिखना है सबको, झकास word लिखना है सबको in the chat please. एकदम झकास तरीके से क्लियर है सबको, everyone. Now I can define another way to make a payment. UPI payment. And I'm saying this. See. So again, what I can do here is I can just say this. Make payment via UPI. Make payment via UPI. So if you see, how does the structure is looking like here? we have a contract called payment, which is just saying what to do. And we did the payment via credit card payment and UPI payment. Here we are defining how to do. Right. So this is what we actually did. Now guys, why I am saying it is a contract. So can you break a contract? My question to you is, can you break a contract? Is it possible for you to break a contract? No, right? If you are in a contract, you cannot break it. Let's see. Let's say if I'm trying to comment this make payment function, I'm commenting this make payment function. You see that it has started giving me an error. The type UPI payment must implement the inherited abstract method make payment. Just see the error. The type UPI payment must implement the make payment. It is saying make payment, it has to implement, it's a must. It cannot break that contract. So that's why I'm saying it is a contract. That's why I'm saying it is a contract. Right. Guys, now what is the use of this kind of a pattern? What is the use of this kind of a pattern? So let's say as of now, your application is supporting payment via credit card and your application is supporting payment via UPI only. Now, moving forward, you are saying that I want to support payments through Stripe also. I want to support payments through Stripe also. So guys, what you can do in future is you will do a simple thing, that is you will just make a new class called Stripe payment. You will make a new class called Stripe payment and you can just simply implement it. So you are saying making payment via Stripe. So basically, if you see guys, your code is easily extensible. You're not touching the old code and you are extending it to a newer functionality. Again, you are not touching an old code and you are actually extending a newer functionality. You are making a newer functionality. Does it make sense why we are using this kind of a pattern here? Is it clear, like awesomely clear to everyone? I just showed you, right? Now let's say there is fourth type of a payment that you want to do, right? Let's say debit card. So your code should be easily extensible, right? You heard about a term called solid. There is something called solid principle. You heard about it? A keyword in tech. So O stands for open closed. Open for extension, closed for modification, right? So if you see, what we are getting through this is O, open for extension, closed for modification. So you are extending your code base with a new Stripe functionality, but you're not modifying your existing code base, right? This is the advantage of this pattern called interfaces and class, or the contract and the implementation. Is it clear to everyone guys, this thing? What are interfaces? Right? Make sense? Guys, if you are liking it, please like the video also so I can know that you guys are actually understanding it and be like responsive in the chat. Like the video, subscribe the channel also, right? It makes sense. Right. Now let's move forward. let's move forward to something called encapsulation. Now guys, let's say you have a bank software. Let's say you have a bank software. Okay, what you have a bank software. In a bank software, there will be a model or a noun called bank account. Yes or no? There will be a model or entity or a noun called bank account. बैंक अकाउंट तो होगा, मानते हुए बात तो सब लोग, right? Now let's simulate one thing. Let's simulate one scenario. Let's take one example here. Okay, let's see an issue. Inside the models, I am making something called bank account. Okay, मैंने क्या किया, इनसाइड में मॉडल में जा रहा हूं, मेरे मॉडल के अंदर मैंने एक बैंक अकाउंट क्लास बनाई. ठीक है, here what I did is I said public int balance. मैंने ये काम कर दिया. ठीक है, सो देयर इज अ फील्ड बैंक अकाउंट के अंदर दैट वी कॉल्ड अ बैलेंस. ओके, एंड दैट इज पब्लिक. कूल. नाउ inside my main, see, now you see there is a models package. So this bank account class is actually made in models package. One thing, my main is outside this package. My main is outside this package. Okay, inside this main, what I did is I did something like this: bank account b1 is equal to new bank account. I'm just showing you one scenario first. Okay, ठीक है, I made an object called bank account. Now guys, I'm doing b1 dot balance is equal to -100. Is it right to do? Is it a right thing to do? कभी बैंक अकाउंट का बैलेंस नेगेटिव में गया है आज तक किसी का? क्या बैंक अकाउंट का बैलेंस नेगेटिव रखने देता है हमें बैंक? कभी देखा है आपने कि बैंक अकाउंट नेगेटिव बैलेंस रखने दे रहा है? सोचने वाली बात है, नहीं रखने देता. बट वी आर डूइंग इट, एंड वी आर डूइंग इट फ्रॉम आउटसाइड. क्या आप लोग अपना बैंक बैलेंस किसी और बंदे को एक्सेस करने दोगे, चेंज करने दोगे क्या? Will you let an outsider modify your bank balance from outside? That is the question now. कभी नहीं, right? So if you see, this main lies outside my model package, and we have given it so much access that it is able to manipulate the balance here only. ये बैलेंस को मैनिपुलेट कर पा रहा है यार आपके, और उसको नेगेटिव में सेट कर पा रहा है बाहर से. तो मेरे हिसाब से देयर शुड बी सम सेट ऑफ रूल्स दैट शुड बी अप्लाइड टू एन आउटसाइडर. यस और नो? कुछ सेट ऑफ रूल्स हमें आउटसाइडर के लिए रखने चाहिए अपनी जिंदगी में. जो बाहर का बंदा है, या उसको अपना सब कुछ चीजों का एक्सेस दे देंगे? वी विल नॉट डू दैट, राइट? वी डोंट गिव अ एक्सेस फॉर ईच एंड एवरीथिंग टू एन आउटसाइडर, राइट? So how we can prevent it? We can prevent it with the help of a keyword that is called private. So we will make the balance private. Private. Your private thing is known to you only. So this balance is only accessible in this class only. Now this balance field is only accessible in this class only. मेरी प्राइवेट चीजें मेरे को ही पता है, कार्तिक की प्राइवेट चीजें कार्तिक को ही पता है. ये बैलेंस फील्ड, ये बैंक अकाउंट क्लास को ही पता है, ये बाहर से एक्सेसिबल नहीं है, हम इसको डायरेक्ट एक्सेसिबल नहीं होने देंगे बाहर, ठीक है। एंड आई कैन शो यू, अगर आप मेन में जाके देखोगे, इट विल स्टार्ट थ्रोइंग एन एरर नाउ। व्हाट इट इज सेइंग, इट इज सेइंग, देखो, इट इज सेइंग द फील्ड बैंक अकाउंट डॉट बैलेंस इज नॉट विजिबल। और ये चीज सही भी है कहीं ना कहीं, यस और नो? भाई बाहर वाले को मैं अपना बैलेंस क्यों एक्सेस करने दूं, और उसको बैलेंस मैनिपुलेट भी करने दूं, राइट? सो अब ये फिर भी सही है, राइट? बट वी वांट टू गिव सम राइट्स, कुछ राइट्स तो हमें देने हैं। जैसे लेट्स से व्हाट आई एम डूइंग इज, अब इस चीज का फायदा देखना, जस्ट सी द एडवांटेजेस ऑफ दिस, ओके। सो set balance, I am making a function called set balance, right? So set balance, what it is doing is, just see, this function is public, that means it is accessible from outside. This function is public, that means it is accessible from outside, right? And एक function I am making, that is get balance, right? So what I did, I have a private field balance, I have made two public functions called set balance and get balance. अब प्रॉब्लम तो अभी भी वही है, प्रॉब्लम तो अभी भी वही है, ये डायरेक्ट नहीं एक्सेस कर पा रहा, बट b1 डॉट सेट बैलेंस -100, अब इसने आपके बैलेंस को नेगेटिव सेट कर दिया, यस और नो? कर दिया ना? कर तो अभी भी वही काम दिया, आपके बैलेंस को नेगेटिव सेट तो कर ही दिया इसने, बिकॉज आपका जो फंक्शन है, योर फंक्शन इज एक्चुअली अ पब्लिक फंक्शन, राइट? बट इस पैटर्न का एक फायदा है, इस पैटर्न का फायदा क्या है? What you can do here is, you can say if balance is lesser than 0, balance cannot be negative, और उसको सेट करने से पहले return before setting, you can add a validation logic using this pattern, you can add a validation logic using this pattern, right? और आप क्या कर सकते हो, you can even not have this code here. If you want, you will not even give them this right to set the balance, you will just give them the right to view your balance, that's it, right? So इस क्लास पे आपका पूरा कंट्रोल है, जैसे आप इस क्लास को कंट्रोल करना चाहो, आप इस क्लास को वैसे कंट्रोल करो। सही बात है, गलत बात है? सही बात है ना? जैसे आप कंट्रोल करना चाहो वैसे कंट्रोल करो। If you don't want the outside class to set the balance, you don't expose that method, right? You just want them to show the balance, that's it, right? If you see now, it cannot set the balance, it can just get the balance, that's it, it can just get the balance, right? And if you are giving them the access to set the balance, then you can add a validation logic to it. एक validation logic you have written it, right? So now if I run this code, it is printing balance cannot be negative, right? So basically what you did here is you actually exercised the control over your class. You have a control, strict control over your class on this field, right? And you can add certain validation logic for the functions that you are exposing outside if you want to, right? So guys, एक सिंपल सा पैटर्न है इनकैप्सुलेशन कि जो आपकी फील्ड्स हैं, डोंट लेट द आउटसाइडर्स टू एक्सेस योर फील्ड, एक्सरसाइज द कंट्रोल, okay? Don't let the outsiders to access your fields, it is as simple as that. Encapsulation is Don't let the outsiders to access your field. Expose what you want to expose. Simple as that. You want to expose fetching the balance, expose that. You want to explode set the balance, expose that. So exposure should be your. ये guys सबको जगह clear एकदम. Any doubts here? What does the encapsulation means? Any doubts here? ये clear है? So if I have to talk about encapsulation, encapsulation is a very simple thing, right? Don't overexpose. Simple. Or you can say access control mechanism. That's it. You will see different definitions like hide data, expose behavior, vagara vagara. But this is actually the understanding what is encapsulation in simple terms. Right. So this is one of the another best practice or a pattern that we follow, that we don't expose fields to the outside. We expose functions and those functionalities that we want to expose. That's it. Okay. So this is one thing. So what we have studied as of now, guys, we have studied this thing called project structure. We have studied classes. We have studied interfaces or contracts. And we have studied encapsulation as well. Okay, this thing we have done. Right. Now, guys, let's see certain data structures in Java. Let's see certain data structures in Java. Some useful data structures that we will be using a lot. Inbuilt data structures. Right. Yogita, we will see that if we will be using it. Okay. अभी हम interfaces तक ही रहते हैं. अभी we don't need abstract classes as of now. अभी हम interfaces तक ही रहेंगे. ठीक है? Make sense? Now, guys, data structures inbuilt. So, guys, in Java, there are certain data structures. First data structure is called list. Right, list. List is just a list. List is just a list. That's it. कुछ नहीं है. List क्या है? If I talk about list, what is a list? Ordered, and it allows duplicates. It is ordered and it allows duplicates. Right. So, guys, let's say that you have something called shopping cart. You have something called shopping cart. Right. Now, let's say you want to buy a bat. One bat you want to buy. So you added a bat, one quantity. Now you want to buy a ball and you want to buy two balls. Ball, one, and then you added another ball, two. So it is two quantity. So if you see, your shopping cart will internally look something like bat, ball, ball. So it is basically ordered and it has duplicates allowed to it. That's it. This is your list. Simple as that. It is very simple, right? So how we can make a list in Java? Just a little bit of demo I'm giving you here. That's it for this. How can I make a list in Java? List, right? String, because I want to store the items, string names. Let's say names is equal to new array list. So I will not be going into the depth, guys. Just उतना ही बता रहा हूं जितना हम लोगों को जरूरत है, जितने से हमारा काम चल जाएगा, जितने से आप सब लोग काम कर लोगे. ठीक है, बस उतना ही मैं आपको बता रहा हूं इस टाइम पे. ठीक है, बिकॉज अवर मेन एम इज टू see how to implement the problems, right? Names dot add Navjot, names dot add Kartik, names dot add Kartik, right? और guys अगर हमें जावा में लिस्ट को प्रिंट करना है, that is very simple, you can just print it like this, names, that's it. So let's see what gets printed. See, Navjot Kartik Kartik got printed over the console for you. So it is ordered. Navjot को पहले enter किया, Navjot is on the 0th index, Kartik first index, Kartik second index. So duplicates are also there, right? So this is just your simple list. So let's say if I ask you what data structure you will use for a shopping cart. Shopping cart allows you duplicate items. So you will use a list. Yes or no, guys? Shopping cart allows you duplicate items. So you will use a list. Simple as that. Okay. Now, guys, let's say we have some another use case. Another use case is storing emails of customer. Storing emails. Guys, can we have duplicate emails? Can we have duplicate emails? Like we have two different customers and we have like duplicate same email for them. Is it a possibility? क्या duplicate emails possible है? Duplicate emails are not possible, right? Need to be unique. So if you want something to be unique, you have a different data structure called set. Right? Let's say I made a set. Right? Set, let's say, again, names set I made. This is how you basically make an object of a set. Again, don't go deep inside it. This is just like interviewer आपसे नहीं पूछने वाला guys ये चीज in a machine coding round, right? This is just for the demonstration purposes. Name set dot add Kartik, name set dot add Kartik. Okay, now guys, let's print this set. Let's print this set. See, only a single Kartik got printed. So basically, set always store unique things. That is also the definition in maths also, right? A set is always unique. Makes sense, right? This thing, that a set is always unique. Right? Now, let's say I want to store something as a pair. Let's say I want to store something as a pair. Now, for a pair, let's say I want to store item and the quantity of the item. This is something that I want to store. So I want to store item name and the quantity, right? So basically I'm trying to store a pair. To store a pair, you actually use something called HashMap or a map, right? You use something called HashMap or a map. So basically a map stores a pair of things, key and a value, key and a value, right? For example, how it is made? Map item name should be of type string, right? Quantity should be of type integer, right? New HashMap. So why this? Because if you see, item name should be of type string and quantity should be of type integer. That's it, right? That's why I made a map of string and integer. So what I can do, I can say map dot put. So there is a, to add something. See, to add something in a list or a set, you have a add function. But if you want to add something in a map, you have a put, right? So let's say item is a bat. How many bats you want to buy? One. Item is a ball. How many ball you want to buy? Two. Right? And let's print this map. Let's print this map. So here you can see ball equal to 2, bat we have 1. Right? So this is your map data structure. Does it make sense, guys? So what will be the uses if you say? See, if you want duplicates to be allowed, you will use list. If you don't want duplicates to be allowed, you will use set. If you want something in a pair, you will use map. This will be our go-to logic. This will be our go-to logic. Does it make sense to everyone here? बहुत सिंपल है ये चीज, इतनी सिंपल ही है, राइट? बस इतना ही है. राइट? लिस्ट, सेट, मैप और उनके यूज केसेस क्या है. और गाइस एक और चीज, इन अ मैप a key cannot be duplicate. In a map, a key cannot be duplicate. Let's say if I did something like this, map.put ball 4. In a map, a key cannot be duplicate. Where is the error? Where is showing the error? Wait a second. Line, acha, line 37, sorry. Yeah. See. So what we did, map.put ball 2, map.put ball 4. Right? It overwrote that value. वो 2 को उसने ओवरराइट करके 4 कर दिया, बट की एक ही है बॉल नाम की. A key in a map cannot be duplicate. Does it make sense? Right. So मैं यहां पे लिख देता हूं key cannot be duplicate. Account creator, we will see that, we will see those things, but abhi ke liye let's keep this scope this much only, right? That is the thing. अभी के लिए हम यही स्कोप रखते हैं, राइट? डोंट, लेट्स नॉट कॉम्प्लिकेट मच ओवर दिस. ठीक है. एक चीज गाइस मैं आपको और बताना चाहता हूं यहां पे. आपको याद है हमने एक इंटरफेस बनाया था पेमेंट, और हमने एक क्लास बनाई थी क्रेडिट कार्ड पेमेंट जो कि पेमेंट को इंप्लीमेंट कर रही थी. एक हमने क्लास बनाई थी स्ट्राइप पेमेंट जो कि पेमेंट को इंप्लीमेंट कर रही थी. एक हमने क्लास बनाई थी यूपीआई पेमेंट जो पेमेंट को इंप्लीमेंट कर रही थी. Right. Now guys, see, interface and classes are pluggable and unpluggable. Interface and classes are pluggable and unpluggable. How? Let me show you. Payment P. Let's say आपने पेमेंट का ऑब्जेक्ट बनाया. Let's say आपने पेमेंट का ऑब्जेक्ट बनाया, राइट? पेमेंट P is equal to न्यू क्रेडिट कार्ड पेमेंट. आपने बोला मुझे पेमेंट क्रेडिट कार्ड से करनी है. आपने बोला मुझे पेमेंट क्रेडिट कार्ड से करनी है. P डॉट मेक पेमेंट. सी मेक पेमेंट वाया क्रेडिट कार्ड। आपने बोला नहीं 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 नहीं, मुझे पेमेंट करनी है यूपीआई से। मेक पेमेंट वाया यूपीआई। आपने बोला नहीं 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 नहीं, मुझे पेमेंट करनी है स्ट्राइप से। मेक पेमेंट वाया स्ट्राइप। सो गाइस एक चीज आप यहां देख रहे हो, दिस पेमेंट इज समथिंग दैट वी आर नॉट चेंजिंग। दिस इज योर इंटरफेस नेम। बेसिकली अगर आप देखो हायरार्की, देखो व्हाट इज अ हायरार्की? Hierarchy here is at the top of the hierarchy there is payment, and at the bottom there is credit card, UPI and Stripe, right? At the bottom of the hierarchy we have credit card, UPI, Stripe. So credit card payment भी एक पेमेंट ही है, यूपीआई पेमेंट भी एक पेमेंट ही है, स्ट्राइप पेमेंट भी एक पेमेंट ही है। इसीलिए आप ये चीज कर पा रहे हो, इसलिए आप इनको इंटरचेंज कर पा रहे हो, प्लग और अनप्लग कर पा रहे हो। अगेन क्रेडिट कार्ड पेमेंट भी एक पेमेंट ही है, स्ट्राइप पेमेंट भी एक पेमेंट ही है, और आपका क्या कहते हैं यूपीआई पेमेंट भी एक पेमेंट ही है। दैट इज व्हाई यू आर एबल टू प्लग एंड अनप्लग दिस थिंग, राइट? लाइनस कोड्स ये सब चीजों के जवाब हम बाद में ढूंढेंगे, अभी इतना ही सुनो पहले, ठीक है? इट मेक सेंस, राइट गाइस? क्या आप इसका उल्टा कर सकते हो? नहीं, यू कैन नॉट डू समथिंग लाइक दिस, राइट? लेट्स से यू आर मेकिंग स्ट्राइप पेमेंट, P1 is equal to new, let's say you said UPI पेमेंट। ये गलत है, ये गलत है, बिकॉज यूपीआई पेमेंट इज नॉट अ स्ट्राइप पेमेंट। ये दोनों डिफरेंट मैकेनिज्म्स हैं, these are different mechanisms altogether. What you can do best here is you can do somewhat like this, that's it, right? But you cannot do something like this because these are different mechanisms altogether, ठीक है? सो ये चीज भी गाइस बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट थी जाननी हम लोगों को, एंड आई होप दैट यू आर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस एज वेल। मेक सेंस, राइट? पेमेंट इज जस्ट अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट। यू आर सेइंग स्ट्राइप is a type of a payment, UPI is a type of a payment, credit card is a type of a payment. That's it. That is why you are able to plug, unplug, plug, unplug, plug, unplug. That's it. But UPI payment is not a Stripe payment. These two are different mechanisms altogether, different implementations altogether. Right? Make sense? Right? अच्छा guys, एक चीज जो मैं आप लोगों से और डिस्कस करना चाहता हूं यहाँ पे, that is something called enum. Okay, that is something called enum. Now let's say guys you placed an order, so you see order status, different order status, right? When you place an order, the order status is placed, right? When your order is, let's say, confirmed, the status is confirmed. When your order gets delivered, the status is delivered. So when you place an order, the order status keeps on changing with time. Yes or no? Order status keeps on changing with time. And we have some same set of values. अगर मैं एक ऑर्डर की बात करूं, ऑर्डर की सेम सेट ऑफ वैल्यूज होती होंगी, उसका स्टेटस क्या होगा? या तो ऑर्डर प्लेस हो गया, या तो ऑर्डर कंफर्म हो गया, या तो ऑर्डर लास्ट में डिलीवर हो गया। एक ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्या हो सकता है? कैंसल्ड। इसके अलावा कुछ हो सकता है क्या गाइस? सेम सेट ऑफ वैल्यूज ही रखता है होगा ऑर्डर, ऑर्डर स्टेटस के अंदर सेम सेट ऑफ वैल्यूज ही रहती होंगी हमेशा हर ऑर्डर के लिए, चाहे वो ऑर्डर 1 हो, ऑर्डर 2, ऑर्डर 3, ऑर्डर n है, ऑर्डर 1000 हो, सेम सेट ऑफ वैल्यूज रहती होंगी ना स्टेटस की, या तो प्लेस, कंफर्म, डिलीवर्ड या कैंसल्ड, राइट? There is a buzzword called magic string. There is a buzzword called magic string. Let's say मैं आपको बताता हूं, होता क्या है, आपने एक मॉडल बनाया, ऑर्डर, ठीक है। ऑर्डर के अंदर आपने क्या किया, आपने बोला लेट्स से आपने रखी एक ऑर्डर आईडी और आपने एक फील्ड रखी ऑर्डर स्टेटस, ठीक है। आपने एक ऑर्डर आईडी रखी, एक ऑर्डर स्टेटस रखा, ठीक है। अब गाइस लेट्स से आपने एक ऑर्डर ऑब्जेक्ट बनाया, एक कंस्ट्रक्टर भी बना देते हैं ऑर्डर का, लेट्स मेक अ कंस्ट्रक्टर ऑल्सो, ठीक है। तो अब हमने क्या किया, आपने एक ऑर्डर को ऑब्जेक्ट बनाया और हम गेट स्टेटस भी एक बनाते हैं फील्ड, ठीक है, अभी के लिए, ठीक है। तो आपने क्या किया, आपने बोला ऑर्डर O1 इज इक्वल टू न्यू ऑर्डर, ठीक है। और आपने इनिशियली ऑर्डर आईडी दे दी लेट्स से 1 2 3 और आपने ऑर्डर स्टेटस दे दिया प्लेस्ड, ठीक है। आपने ऑर्डर स्टेटस दे दिया प्लेस्ड, राइट। अब क्या होता है, हम ऑर्डर के अंदर एक सेट ऑर्डर स्टेटस की फील्ड भी रख रहे हैं। अच्छा, अब गाइस आपको ऑर्डर प्लेस हुआ है, तो अभी जैसे आपने ऑर्डर प्लेस किया, जैसे आपका ऑर्डर का ऑब्जेक्ट बना तो स्टेटस प्लेस हुआ, बट गाइस जब ये कंफर्म हो जाएगा तो स्टेटस चेंज भी होगा, रीसेट होगा स्टेटस, यस और नो। जैसे ही आपको ऑर्डर कंफर्म होगा उसको कुछ टाइम बाद हमें चेंज करना पड़ेगा ना, उसके स्टेटस को करना पड़ेगा, नहीं करना पड़ेगा। सो हम क्या करेंगे, सेट ऑर्डर स्टेटस नाम का भी एक फंक्शन रख देते हैं, राइट। नाउ गाइस हियर कम्स द प्रॉब्लम, ठीक है। आपने बोला यार बात इतनी है, जब मैं एक ऑर्डर बुकिंग, एक ऑर्डर एप्लीकेशन बना रहा हूँ ना, ऑर्डरिंग एप्लीकेशन बना रहा हूँ, ई कॉमर्स एप्लीकेशन बना रहा हूँ, मेरे ऑर्डर की ना कुछ फील्ड्स होनी चाहिए, मतलब ऑर्डर के स्टेटस 4 ही होने चाहिए। एक या तो आपने ऑर्डर प्लेस कर दिया, एक या तो आपने ऑर्डर कैंसिल कर दिया, एक आपने डिलीवर कर दिया, एक कंफर्म कर दिया, ये 4 फील्ड होनी चाहिए, बस दैट्स इट। अब मैं क्या करता हूँ ना, मैं जाता हूँ, मैं जाके यहाँ पे करता हूँ O1 डॉट सेट ऑर्डर स्टेटस और ऑर्डर स्टेटस को मैं लिख देता हूँ ABC। कोई सेंस है इस बात की, ऑर्डर का स्टेटस है ABCBCBC, कोई सेंस बनती है इस बात की कि अपना ऑर्डर का स्टेटस को कुछ भी सेट कर दूं, नहीं बनती, राइट। इन्हीं चीजों को हम कहते हैं मैजिक स्ट्रिंग्स। आपके पास इतना नहीं होना चाहिए कि आप यार कुछ भी जाके कहीं भी जाके सेट कर दो, कुछ प्री डिफाइंड वैल्यूज ही होनी चाहिए आपके पास स्टेटस की, राइट। उन प्री डिफाइंड, जब आपके पास किसी चीज की कुछ प्री डिफाइंड वैल्यूज है, अ सेट ऑफ वैल्यूज हैं कि यही वैल्यूज आपकी यूज होनी चाहिए, तो आप एक चीज यूज करते हो जिसको आप कहते हो इनम्स। इनम्स भी आपका मॉडल में ही आता है, इनम्स भी आपका मॉडल में ही आता है, राइट। इनम ऑर्डर स्टेटस, आपने बोला यार देखो बड़ी सीधी सी बात है, ठीक है, या तो ऑर्डर होगा प्लेस्ड, या तो ऑर्डर होगा कंफर्म्ड, या तो ऑर्डर होगा डिलीवर्ड, या तो ऑर्डर होगा कैंसल्ड, दैट्स इट। यही 4 वैल्यू होंगी। अब क्या करना है, अब आपको हर जगह पे ये इनम का ही यूज करना है रादर देन स्ट्रिंग्स के, ठीक है। आपने एक जगह डिफाइन करके रख दिया और अब आप उसको बार बार रीयूज कर रहे हो, दैट्स इट। डिफाइन वंस, यूज इट, रीयूज इट। ऑर्डर स्टेटस डॉट प्लेस्ड, ऑर्डर स्टेटस डॉट कंफर्म्ड। और गाइस देखो अभी यहाँ ये एरर दे रहा है, क्यों एरर दे रहा है, कह रहा है भाई यहाँ तो आपने स्ट्रिंग लिखा है और आप ऑर्डर स्टेटस पास कर रहे हो, तो अब आप यहाँ पे एनफोर्स कर रहे हो कि जो वैल्यूज मैं चाहता हूं वही वैल्यूज रहे मेरे ऑर्डर स्टेटस की, दैट्स इट। जो वैल्यूज मैं चाहता हूं वही वैल्यू रहे मेरे ऑर्डर स्टेटस की, दैट्स इट। सो यू आर एनफोर्सिंग दोज वैल्यूज, व्हाट यू आर डूइंग, you are enforcing those values. Again, you are enforcing those values. अब गाइस क्या कोई और वैल्यू ऑर्डर की सेट हो सकती है इन चार में से? नहीं, ठीक है। सो बेसिकली व्हाट यू आर डूइंग इज, आप अपने एप्लीकेशन के अंदर ऑर्डर स्टेटस की कुछ सेट ऑफ वैल्यूज को एनफोर्स करना चाहते हो। अब मैं यहाँ पे ए बी सी बी सी नहीं लिख सकता। अगर मेरे को कुछ एक नई वैल्यू ऐड करनी है, लेट्स से रिटर्न, तो वो मेरे को यहां जाके ऐड करनी पड़ेगी, तब जाके वो ऐड होगी। तो आई एम नॉट अलाउइंग टू यूज मैजिक स्ट्रिंग्स, कुछ भी यूज कर लिया, कुछ भी स्ट्रिंग यूज कर ली, नहीं। आई वॉन्ट टू मेंटेन अ कंसिस्टेंट थिंग, कंसिस्टेंट डेटा टाइप हेयर। इज इट मेकिंग सेंस? इज इट मेकिंग सेंस हेयर? राइट। सो ऐसी जगहों पे जहां पे आप कुछ पर्टिकुलर सेट ऑफ वैल्यूज को एनफोर्स करना चाहते हो, यू यूज इनम्स देयर। तो इसलिए हमने क्या किया है, इसलिए हमने यहाँ पे इनम्स का यूज किया है, ठीक है। ये आपका एक और टाइप का चीज हो गई। तो हमने क्या पढ़ा अभी तक? हमने क्लासेस पढ़ लिया, हमने इंटरफेसेस पढ़ लिया, हमने इनम्स पढ़ लिया, ठीक है। हमने टाइप्स पढ़ लिए बेसिकली, क्लासेस, इंटरफेसेस, इनम्स। हमने तीन टाइप के डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स पढ़े, लिस्ट, सेट, मैप, ये भी पढ़ लिया हमने, ठीक है। और गैस मैंने आप लोगों को एक और चीज अभी बताई थी, वो चीज क्या थी? वो चीज मैंने आपको बताई थी, ये प्लग एंड प्ले वाली चीज जो थी, प्लग एंड अनप्लग वाली चीज जो थी, ये भी मैंने आपको बताई थी अभी, ठीक है। तो हमने ये सब पढ़ लिया क्योंकि ये सब चीजें काम आएंगी हम लोगों के। एक लास्ट चीज जो आज के लिए मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं, दैट इज एक्सेप्शन। एक्सेप्शन गाइस, लेट्स से अगर कोई मेरे बैलेंस को नेगेटिव सेट करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, ठीक है, कोई मेरे बैलेंस को अगर नेगेटिव सेट करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, तो मैं क्या चाहता हूं? अभी तो मैं क्या कर रहा हूं, अभी मैं एक प्रिंट स्टेटमेंट यूज कर रहा हूं। अगर आप देखोगे तो अभी मैंने क्या किया, अभी मैंने प्रिंट स्टेटमेंट यूज करी, यहाँ पे बैलेंस कैन नॉट बी नेगेटिव, दैट्स इट, ये आ रहा है। बट गाइस ये एक प्रिंट स्टेटमेंट से ज्यादा एरर है कि मेरा बैलेंस नेगेटिव में सेट करने की मैं कोशिश कर रहा हूँ। ये गलत ऑपरेशन है और मुझे यूजर को बताना होगा कि भाई ये गलत ऑपरेशन है, यस और नो, एक अलग मैकेनिज्म से बताना होगा ताकि यूजर उस पर अच्छे से गौर कर पाए। सही बात है, गलत बात है? अभी तो क्या, अभी तो सब कुछ काला प्रिंट स्टेटमेंट ही दिखाई दे रहा है। बैलेंस कैन नॉट बी नेगेटिव भी ब्लैक प्रिंट स्टेटमेंट है, ठीक है। जो चीजें मैं प्रिंट कर रहा हूँ वो भी एक ब्लैक प्रिंट स्टेटमेंट है। इसमें यूजर को अलग से तो कुछ पता नहीं लग रहा कि वो जो करने की कोशिश कर रहा है दैट इज रॉन्ग। तो मुझे यूजर को बताना होगा कि दैट इज रॉन्ग। तो अगर मुझे यूजर को बताना है कि कुछ एक एरर थ्रो करना है, एक एरर थ्रो करना है, ठीक है, और एक कस्टम एरर थ्रो करना है, कस्टम एरर, ठीक है, कस्टम एरर यूजर को थ्रो करना है, तो देयर इज समथिंग इन जावा दैट इज कॉल्ड एक्सेप्शन। तो मैं अपनी एक्सेप्शन कैसे बनाऊंगा गाइस? एक्सेप्शंस का एक अलग पैकेज बनता है। पहली चीज, एक्सेप्शंस का एक अलग पैकेज बनता है, ठीक है। ठीक है, इस एक्सेप्शन में मैं अपनी एक कस्टम एक्सेप्शन बनाऊंगा, मैं अपनी एक कस्टम एक्सेप्शन बनाऊंगा। तो मैं बनाऊंगा इनवैलिड बैलेंस एक्सेप्शन, ठीक है। और जावा के अंदर एक चीज होती है बाय डिफॉल्ट जिसको हम कहते हैं एक्सेप्शन, ठीक है। एक पेरेंट क्लास होती है जिसको हम कहते हैं एक्सेप्शन। हम उसका बस एक चाइल्ड क्लास बना रहे हैं यहाँ पे, ठीक है, कस्टम चाइल्ड क्लास बना रहे हैं, ठीक है। देखो, इनवैलिड बैलेंस एक्सेप्शन, ठीक है, हम उसका क्या कर रहे हैं, कस्टम चाइल्ड क्लास बना रहे हैं, दैट्स इट, ठीक है। हम क्या कर रहे हैं, हम उसका एक कस्टम चाइल्ड क्लास बना रहे हैं, ठीक है ना। तो मैंने क्या किया, मैंने यहाँ पे एक अपनी एक्सेप्शन बनाई, इनवैलिड बैलेंस एक्सेप्शन, ठीक है। अभी के लिए गाइस आप सिंटेक्स को याद रखो, इसके इन डेप्थ में अगर जाना होगा, हमारे पास टाइम बचेगा हम तब जाएंगे, बट आपसे इंटरव्यू और मशीन कोडिंग राउंड में नहीं पूछेगा, मैं आपको फिर बोल रहा हूँ, ठीक है। इसलिए बहुत ज्यादा इस चीज पे अभी ध्यान देने की आपको जरूरत नहीं है, बहुत ज्यादा आपको ध्यान देने की जरूरत नहीं है, बस मैं आपको ये बता रहा हूँ कि ऐसे आप अपनी कस्टम एक्सेप्शन बनाते हो। अभी के लिए आप बस सिंटेक्स को याद रखने की कोशिश करिए, दैट्स इट। अभी के लिए आपको इतना करना है, ठीक है। तो मैंने क्या किया, मैंने अपनी कस्टम एक्सेप्शन बनाई, ये जावा के अंदर ऑलरेडी है, java.lang.exception ऑलरेडी एक क्लास है, मैंने उसको इनहेरिट किया है इनवैलिड बैलेंस एक्सेप्शन से, और मैं जो मैसेज चाहूं वो यहां पास कर रहा हूं, जैसे जैसे यहां देखो। अब मैं ये ना यूज करते हुए पता क्या लिखूंगा, थ्रो न्यू इनवैलिड बैलेंस एक्सेप्शन, बैलेंस कैन नॉट बी नेगेटिव। तो जो मैसेज मैं यहां से भेज रहा हूं, जो मैसेज मैं यहां से भेज रहा हूं, ठीक है, वो मैसेज एक्चुअली में यहां पहुंचेगा, क्योंकि मैं क्या कर रहा हूं, मैं बेसिकली एक्सेप्शन का ऑब्जेक्ट बना रहा हूं। न्यू का क्या मतलब होता है गाइस, ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट करना, ठीक है, न्यू इनवैलिड बैलेंस एक्सेप्शन, और मैं उसका कंस्ट्रक्टर कॉल कर रहा हूं कि भाई मुझे यूजर को ये मैसेज देना है जो मैं भेज रहा हूं, दैट्स इट। इसका ये मतलब आप समझ लो बस, अभी के लिए, अभी के लिए मतलब समझ लो कि मेरे को यूजर को ये मैसेज भेजना है, मैं वो मैसेज भेज रहा हूं, ठीक है। और गाइस आपको यहाँ पे बताना होगा कि ये फंक्शन एक्सेप्शन फेंकता है, ये फंक्शन एक्सेप्शन फेंकता है। कौन से एक्सेप्शन फेंकता है, इनवैलिड बैलेंस एक्सेप्शन फेंकता है, ये फंक्शन एक्सेप्शन फेंकता है, आपने ये बता दिया, बस इसको ये बता दिया, दैट्स इट, आपने बता दिया। तो आपने क्या किया, आपने अपने कस्टम एक्सेप्शन लिखी। कस्टम एक्सेप्शन एक मैसेज लेता है, जो आप चाहो मैसेज फेंकना यूजर को, जो आप मैसेज यूजर को फेंकना चाहो वो ये मैसेज लेता है। आपने वो मैसेज भेज दिया और आपने बता दिया कि ये फंक्शन एक्सेप्शन फेंकता है, दैट्स इट। सो अगर गाइस मैंने अपने कोड को अभी रन किया तो देखते हैं क्या होगा। अब कौन सा है भाई, एक सेकेंड रुको, कहाँ मेन में एरर है क्या, देखो अब मैं इसको रन करता हूं, क्या हुआ, क्या बोल रहा है, एक्सेप्शंस डॉट इनवैलिड बैलेंस एक्सेप्शन, बैलेंस कैन नॉट बी नेगेटिव, ठीक है। और वो ये भी बता रहा है कि कौन सी लाइन से आया है, क्रिएट हुआ है। देखो 22 लाइन से मैंने इसको कॉल किया था, और 12th लाइन पे इस क्लास की एक्सेप्शन आई है। और गाइज आप एक चीज और देख सकते हो, इसके बाद ये सब कुछ प्रिंट ही नहीं हुआ, हमारी एप्लीकेशन एग्जिट कर गई है, हमारी एप्लीकेशन फट गई है बेसिकली। क्यों, क्योंकि एक्सेप्शन आई। देखो एक चीज होता है कि मुसीबत आई, बट आपने मुसीबत को वहीं के वहीं हैंडल कर लिया, बट क्या आपने यहाँ पे मुसीबत को हैंडल किया, बट क्या है आपने मुसीबत को हैंडल किया, मुसीबत आई, आपने बोला मुसीबत आ गई, बट आपने उसको हैंडल नहीं किया, आपकी एप्लीकेशन खत्म, ठीक है। तो अभी हमने क्या किया, अभी हमने सिर्फ और सिर्फ मुसीबत बोला है कि मुसीबत आ गई है, हमने उस मुसीबत को हैंडल करने का कोई मैकेनिज्म हमारी एप्लीकेशन में यूज ही नहीं किया, इसलिए हमारी एप्लीकेशन क्रैश कर गई है। इट इज दैट सिंपल। तभी अगर आप देखोगे ध्यान से, मेरा मेन फंक्शन भी कह रहा है कि भाई मैं इनवैलिड बैलेंस एक्सेप्शन फेंकूंगा, तभी वो भी कह रहा है। क्यों, एक्सेप्शन यहां से आई, इनवैलिड बैलेंस एक्सेप्शन, ये फंक्शन का कहना कि मैं एक्सेप्शन फेंकूंगा, इट्स ओके, बट हमारा मेन फंक्शन भी कह रहा है कि भाई जो एक्सेप्शन आएगी मैं वो फेंक दूंगा, ये चीज गलत है, ठीक है। इससे आपकी एप्लीकेशन हो जाएगी क्रैश। अब इसका दूसरा तरीका क्या है, अगर मैं ये हटा दूं, लाइन हटा दूं, ये वाली, लेट से मैं ये लाइन हटा दूं, अगर मैं ये लाइन हटा दूं, तो अब ये एरर दे रहा है, ये कह रहा है या तो आप एक काम करो, या तो आप बोल दो भाई कि ये एक्सेप्शन फेंकता है, मेन मेरा एक्सेप्शन फेंकता है, या तो आप ये बोल दो मेरा मेन एक्सेप्शन फेंकता है, ये बात कह रहा है, या तो बोल रहा है ट्राई कैच का यूज करके इसको हैंडल करो, ट्राई कैच का यूज करके इसको हैंडल करो। देखो मैंने क्या किया, मैंने बोला बैलेंस को सेट करने का ट्राई करो, बैलेंस को सेट करने का ट्राई करो। अगर तो गैस ये बैलेंस पॉजिटिव होता तो ये ट्राई वाला फंक्शन सही चल गया हमारा, ट्राई वाला फंक्शन सही चल गया हमारा, ठीक है। उसने बैलेंस को 100 सेट कर दिया, कोई इशू नहीं है, ये चीज तक आया ही नहीं वो। लेकिन अगर ये नेगेटिव है, अगर ये नेगेटिव है, उसने नेगेटिव बैलेंस सेट करने का ट्राई किया, उसने नेगेटिव बैलेंस सेट करने का ट्राई किया। मैं आपको एक चीज और दिखा देता हूं, एक्सेप्शन थ्रोन, और मैं यहां पे क्या कर रहा हूं, यहां पे मैं कर रहा हूं ई डॉट गेट मैसेज, एक्सेप्शन थ्रोन ई डॉट गेट मैसेज। देखो जब आपका बैलेंस पॉजिटिव सेट करने की कोशिश करी, क्या ये स्टेटमेंट प्रिंट होगी? नहीं। जब आपका बैलेंस नेगेटिव सेट करने की कोशिश करी तो अब क्या हुआ, वो यहां पे आया, ठीक है, वो यहां पे आया। भाई ऐसे नहीं होता लाइनस कोड, जब आप एप्लीकेशन बनाते हो आप सारे के सारे एज केसेस को चेक करते हो। इट डजंट हैपन कि अगर कोई और एरर थ्रो किए या कुछ हुआ, वो सब चीजें आप अपने चीजों में डिफाइन करते हो, ठीक है। एक एप्लीकेशन बनाने में आप एज केसेस कवर करते हो, राइट। तो हम एक एज केस को अभी कवर कर रहे हैं, ऐसे नहीं होगा कि कुछ भी एक अनएक्सप्लेन्ड बिहेवियर हमारी एप्लीकेशन देने लगती है, असल में ऐसा नहीं होता, वी डोंट डू दैट, ठीक है। तो अब क्या होता है, जैसे ही आप नेगेटिव बैलेंस सेट करने की कोशिश करते हो, वो इसके अंदर जाता है और सीधा एक एक्सेप्शन फेंक लेता है। जब ये एक्सेप्शन फेंकता है, वो यहां पे इस एक्सेप्शन को कैच कर लेता है, कैच कर लेता है, ठीक है। अब देखो एक्सेप्शन थ्रोन, बैलेंस कैन नॉट बी नेगेटिव, ठीक है, और हमारी एप्लीकेशन क्रैश नहीं करी है। आप चाहते तो आप यहां पे कुछ हैंडलिंग लॉजिक लिख सकते थे, ठीक है, राइट द हैंडलिंग लॉजिक हियर, ठीक है। गाइस ये सबको क्रिस्टल क्लियर है क्या ये चीज, या किसी को कोई डाउट है यहाँ पे? मेक सेंस, राइट। तो गाइस ये चीजें कुछ आपके जावा के बेसिक्स थे छोटे से, जो मेरे को आपको बताने थे, वो मैंने आपको बता दिए, ठीक है। मतलब आज की क्लास के इतने ही बेसिक्स है। एक छोटी सी, एक छोटा सा होमवर्क टाइप की चीजें जो मैं आप लोगों को दूंगा, वो आप लोग इम्प्लीमेंट कर लेना, ठीक है। खुद से ये सब चीजें यूज करके इम्प्लीमेंट करने की कोशिश करना। जैसे लेट से मैं एक बहुत छोटी सी चीज बता रहा हूँ आपको इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए, ठीक है। लेट से मैं क्या कर रहा हूं, मैं एक फूड डिलीवरी सिस्टम बना रहा हूं, बहुत सिंपल फूड डिलीवरी सिस्टम है ये, ठीक है। इसके अंदर क्या होगा गाइस, इसके अंदर हमारे पास जो नाउन्स हैं या मॉडल्स हैं वो होंगे, मैं 3 ही रख रहा हूं अभी, एक कस्टमर रख रहा हूं, एक रेस्टोरेंट रख रहा हूं, और एक ऑर्डर रख रहा हूं। तो ये 3 तो मेरे हो गए मॉडल्स, ठीक है। और एक साथ में गाइस इनम आ जाएगा मेरा ऑर्डर का स्टेटस, जो भी मैंने आपको बताया। अगर मेरे को एक छोटा सा फूड डिलीवरी सिस्टम इम्प्लीमेंट करना है, बस अपने बेसिक्स देखने के लिए, ठीक है। और गाइस एक्सेप्शन रख सकता हूं मैं क्या, इनवैलिड ऑर्डर एक्सेप्शन, ऐसा कुछ एक एक्सेप्शन रख सकता हूं मैं, ठीक है। ये मेरे मॉडल्स हो गए। और आपको करना क्या क्या है गाइस, आपको क्या करना है, आपको एक ऑर्डर सर्विस बनानी है जो कि आपका ऑर्डर प्लेस करेगा, ऑर्डर सर्विस टू प्लेस ऑर्डर। ये हम नेक्स्ट क्लास में भी कर सकते हैं, बट मैं जस्ट आपको बता रहा हूं कि अगर मेरे को छोटा सा फूड डिलीवरी सिस्टम बनाना है तो क्या करना होगा मेरे को, ठीक है। और बस उसको क्या करना होगा, मुझे मेन से कॉल करना होगा, दैट्स इट। एक बहुत छोटा सा ऑर्डर सिस्टम, मैं इसको अभी आपको फटाफट से करके भी दिखाता हूँ काम, क्या होगा, लेट से कि हमारे पास मॉडल हो गए 3, ठीक है, 3 में से हमने कोई एक मॉडल ले लिया, दैट इज ऑर्डर, ठीक है, हमने एक ऑर्डर ले लिया लेट से, ठीक है, ऑर्डर की आईडी होगी, ऑर्डर का स्टेटस होगा, दैट्स इट, ठीक है। अब क्या होगा, सर्विस के अंदर हमारे पास एक ऑर्डर सर्विस होगी, ठीक है, और उसके अंदर आप क्या करोगे, आप उसके अंदर ऑर्डर को ऐड करना, ऑर्डर को गेट करना और ऑर्डर को अपडेट करना, तो बेसिकली 3 फंक्शनैलिटीज हमारी हैंडल होंगी यहाँ पे, ठीक है, प्लेस ऑर्डर, गेट ऑर्डर और अपडेट ऑर्डर। तो मैं क्या करना चाहता हूं, मैं 3 चीजें करना चाहता हूं बेसिकली, ऑर्डर को प्लेस करना, ऑर्डर को गेट करना, ऑर्डर को अपडेट करना, और ये कहां हो रहा है, मेरी ऑर्डर सर्विस में। एक क्लास बनाऊंगा ऑर्डर सर्विस, जिसके अंदर ये 3 फंक्शनैलिटीज मैं ऐड करूंगा, ठीक है। सो बेसिकली इतना आप करके देख सकते हो। मैं आपको एक पीडीएफ प्रोवाइड करूंगा जिसके अंदर मैंने सॉल्यूशन भी डाल रखा है इस चीज का, ठीक है, आप उसको भी चेक कर सकते हो, ठीक है। बेसिकली इतने ही बेसिक्स आज के लिए मेरे को आप लोगों को पढ़ाने थे इसके अंदर जावा में, ताकि आपको बस ये पता रहे कि हम कहाँ पे क्या कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि हम आगे जाके चीजें यूज करेंगे, ठीक है। गाइज मैं ग्रुप थोड़ी देर के लिए ओपन करूंगा, मुझे थोड़ा सा फीडबैक चाहिए कि ये सेशन कैसा था कैसा नहीं था, राइट, लोग कम क्यों है भाई, क्या इशू है। अब बेसिक्स नहीं पढ़ाए इंसान तो भी दिक्कत है, बेसिक्स पढ़ाए तो भी दिक्कत है, तो मुझे ये चीज समझ नहीं आती एक्चुअली में कि लोगों को एक्चुअली में चाहिए क्या, ठीक है। तो सबसे पहले तो गाइज अगर आपको पसंद आया है तो आप ये सेशन को लाइक करो और सब्सक्राइब करो चैनल को, और शेयर करो यार लिंक्डइन पे हो सके तो, राइट, शेयर दिस ऑल्सो, राइट। तो सब्सक्राइब करो और थोड़ा लाइक वाइक करो, थोड़ा शेयर करो, लिंक्डइन पे पोस्ट वोस्ट डालो गाइस, ताकि कंटिन्यूटी में रहे चीजें, राइट, ठीक है, नहीं तो मुझे फिर रिकॉर्डेड डालना शुरू करना पड़ेगा ये सब कुछ। तो आज के लिए हम इतना ही रखते हैं, ठीक है ना, एंड देन वी विल स्टार्ट विद अनदर सेशन, ठीक है। लाइनस मेरे को थोड़ा देखना होगा यार कि ये पिक्चर क्वालिटी ब्लर क्यों है, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, एक बार मुझे चेक करना होगा, ठीक है, ऐसा होना नहीं चाहिए था, बट आई विल चेक इट, ठीक है। ओके गाइस, मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट सेशन में, ठीक है। मैं नोट्स आपको शेयर कर दूंगा पीडीएफ में, आप उस पीडीएफ को पूरा अच्छे से पढ़ लेना, आपको काफी कुछ समझ आ जाएगा।